So we haven't done an update in a while. I think I haven't done one since I left the hospital, which was like 3 weeks ago. And I left the hospital. I think most people already know that, like, follow us on Facebook, but I left the hospital on a TPN, which is not a feeding tube, but it's a PICC line, and it's nutrients for people that aren't able to eat food to keep you alive. So when I went into the hospital for the first couple of days, because I had an intestinal blockage, so for the first couple of days they put me on a liquid diet. I had like 2 days of fasting, then they put me on a liquid diet, and then they were like, oh, she's never going to eat again. And I really didn't understand why, but this was what they wanted to do to let me out of the hospital, and I went out of the hospital. So they did this TPN. They set this thing up. They did not get a doctor to do what needs to be done for the TPN, which is write a prescription every week when my blood work is done. They couldn't find anyone in Victoria, where we live, to do my blood work. My cancer center agreed to do the blood work every week, so we had no doctor to sign the prescription, but we're driving every week, getting up at 4:30 in the morning and driving to San Antonio to get there at 8 o'clock to have my blood drawn so they can make the prescription that a doctor isn't going to sign for the TPN. So it's not going well, the whole TPN thing, and Callie is having to like set this IV for me up every day, change it out, put injections in the bag, and just go through like all of this stuff. It's taking up, we live in an RV. It's all the bags have to be refrigerated. They're taking up half of our refrigerator space, which is not a lot to begin with. So we have like no room in our refrigerator. We're driving 3 hours one way to do blood work for nothing. And the whole thing is just like a big mess.
And you're eating all the time.
And I'm eating all the time. So praise God, there have been people praying that I would be taken off the TPN. My oncologist did not like the TPN to begin with, and she wanted me off of it. And so the TPN dietitian called me and was like, how's it going? Like, what kind of things, can you tell me like what you've eaten in the last 48 hours? And I go through like a whole list of foods for 2 days, and she's like, wow, you're eating food? And I was like, yeah, like I'm able to eat. It's not eating was never a problem. And she was like, you don't need to be on it. We really need to take you off of it because there are risks associated with it. Like, it's really hard on your liver.
Infection.
The risk of secondary like infection from it. I didn't have a primary infection. Risk of infection from just having a PICC line, and so on and so forth. So praise God, today my oncologist took me off the TPN.
Well, you needed a doctor to write a prescription to take you off.
Yeah, I had to have a doctor supposed to be doing right now and making red blood cells, and prayerfully that will continue. I still believe that God can heal me, and so I'm just praying to be healed. Things in sense of all my labs were better than they've been before, so I'm really thankful for that. And I love that that's when the sun starts shining on my face. I just had a good normal doctor visit. It wasn't a time for scans or anything like that, so I don't have any updates in that sense. I had my bone marrow biopsy done last week, and I won't have results back on that for the first results come in a couple of weeks. The second results come in about 6 weeks, and they're not expected